Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It's time for a little Saturday morning React Tunes featuring Robotech, specifically episode 30, Viva Miriya. Definitely a tonal shift in the series, friends, ever since the near destruction of Earth, and we are in a bit of a reconstruction mode right now. And it's not just the infrastructure of Earth that needs to be rebuilt. There are relationships, there are geopolitical events going on with both the Zentradi and the Micronians, as there's a bit of a heating up going on between how this culture is supposed to coexist and whether or not it should. Interesting stuff, friends. If you could do me a favor before we get started, though, and hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. You'll be alerted next time we go live with Robotech or any of our Saturday morning React Tunes or any of our sci-fi. And if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to the Patreon is in the description. Not a fan of Patreon? No problem. Stick with us here on YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes about a day early, plus any bonus episodes we come up with. But friends, all that's then, this is now. And now it's time to enjoy Robotech, part of our Saturday morning React Tunes, episode 30, Viva Miriya. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go. Fanfare! I'm not sure we should do fanfare anymore. We should do like a dirge. Everything seems so hopeless now. I hate it. Oh, excuse me. I'll tell you a little concern that I have, friends. I'm very invested in the Macross saga of Robotech. I hope to be as invested in the subsequent, Southern Cross, I think is the next one. It's adapted, and I forget the very last one. Really like these characters, except Kyle.
We are at T-minus 50 and counting. Your liftoff is a T-minus 10.
Escort V0112, your gravitation.
Shuttle escorts.
Here we go.
Tower control, this is V0112. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's Miriya's.
What I mean.
Watch it next time, mister.
Evacuate launch area immediately.
I like the crosstalk.
The truth is, just the importance of the mission alone was enough to make me volunteer. Gotta admit, global.
Oh, wow. Claudia and Exodor are coming too?
7, 6, 5, 4.
It's a bunch of Veritechs going.
You are going to rendezvous with the Zentradi mothership. Only at that time will you receive your final instructions. I put Commander Britai in charge of this mission.
Really? Oh, cool shot. At least we know Max and Miriya when they're up there.
While receiving a warm welcome from Britai and the Zentradi, Claudia, Lisa, and the rest of the SDF-1 crew wonder why they're being kept in the dark about the nature of their secret mission.
Right.
It's good seeing you, Exodor, and it's nice to have you back on the ship.
Thank you, sir.
My friends, I especially wish to welcome you, and I am deeply honored to have you under my command.
It's a great honor, sir, to have this opportunity.
I like Britai coming around here.
My people are unaccustomed to contact with beauty such as yours, so don't be surprised at any strange reactions.
Like, Britai just gets it out there in the open.
Is from relentless warlord to a somewhat uncomfortable host. This mission is getting stranger all the time.
I would never categorize Britai as a warlord.
There. All right?
They brought the kid. That was a question I had last time. And they have the kid in an external pod. The balls on these two. The absolute balls. Put him in a pod. Them. I don't even know.
If we are able to convince Reno that we have the protoculture, we will have little difficulty in securing his complete cooperation. Otherwise, our forces will be vastly outnumbered.
Well, what else is new?
Hey, remember the last time we were on this ship?
Being a prisoner wasn't much fun, was it? I'm sure glad things have changed.
Remember when Britai beat the shit out of us in our text?
After serving under Admiral Global, it'll be interesting to see what his ex-enemy is like.
I think they're going to be very similar.
Admiral Global asked me to bring my whole family along, and that's all the information I have.
But why in space would he want you to bring Dana along?
Dana.
Thank you, Commander. Begin fold operation immediately.
We haven't had a fold in a hot minute.
In the recesses of another galaxy, the Robotech masters attempt to resurrect a being in the likeness of Zor. who took to his death the secrets of protoculture, secrets still hidden aboard the rotting carcass of the SDF-1.
I hate that they call it the rotting carcass. The Robotech masters have not discovered the technology of Propecia.
This time, I think we've taken the clone from the suspension before complete maturation. We must stimulate life functions regardless.
The one with the red sounds like Britai.
Oh, Max, look. She's so peaceful. Oh.
Yeah.
What does Max's apron say?
And I held little Dana the whole afternoon, and she didn't cry a bit the entire time.
Sometimes I envy Max and Miriya for having such a beautiful little girl.
No, it must be so tough for Claudia.
Rick, if you have a second, I'd like you to wait in my room for me. There's something I want to talk to you about.
But...
May I remind you, Commander, she's the captain.
But I'm off duty.
So is she.
Oh.
Oh!
It can be rough sometimes when you find you're in love.
Oh.
Go get him, okay? Good night, honey.
Yeah, how are you doing now? Feel so bad for Claudia.
Would you like some tea?
Yeah, tea would be fun.
Is that Carl?
That didn't sound much like a little chat to me.
As a matter of fact, we were talking about you.
If it concerns me and Minmay, I don't want to hear about it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Lisa, but we haven't seen much of each other in several months.
Oh, Rick.
He and Minmay or he and Lisa? I'm assuming he and Minmay.
There's something you want.
What? Something I want?
Uh-huh.
What are you talking about?
Rick, you know what I...
What are you talking about?
The usual perfect timing. Well, you've managed to escape unscathed once again. Goodbye, Rick.
Rick, how can you fly so well in the air and you can't negotiate shit on the ground?
Give me a status report, Exodore.
I have made a positive identification, and it is in fact a late model reconnaissance vessel. It has been somewhat modified for hyperspace travel.
It looks like it's blown up.
Isn't there any margin for error?
No, the information assimilated is in accordance with the galactic code. Errors are not possible.
Errors.
However, it looks to me as though the vessel could be a trap.
What?
We Zentradi are known for such Trojan horses, as you call them.
Britai's command ship slips into hyperspace in a last-ditch effort to gain access to the dwindling supply of protoculture.
So what I don't get is that ship seems to be destroyed, like a derelict.
Finally, they approach the object of their secret mission, the massive Robotech factory satellite.
Factory satellite.
Max, remember, whatever you do, they must think we possess the protoculture.
Yes, Captain.
Summon Captain Hunter to the bridge right away, please.
Yes, sir.
What do you have in mind, Commander Britai?
Captain Hayes, I must apologize.
Oh, you hear Exodore making the call? I love that crosstalk.
Proposing to use Minmay? I thought we were going to broadcast her voice.
Correct. However, we have devised a small modification.
Please don't tell me she's here.
We have decided that the kiss would be a more effective counterattack. Don't you agree?
What? I suppose so.
Well, Rick will have all kinds of terrible shit to say before this happens.
Welcome, Commander Britai. Do you come as friend or foe? I have come to demand you surrender to me immediately.
So friend it is.
Actually, I do have something else you might possibly enjoy. It should be arriving at any moment. I'll attempt to contain my bowels excitement.
Captain...
Did he say contain my bowels?
Lisa, what is he talking about?
It's all right.
Huh? Now I'm starting to worry. I don't think I'm gonna like this one little bit.
Why do you have open comms?
Max, is there any possibility that Rick may not go along with the changes in the diversion plan?
Don't worry about him, Miriya. Remember, Rick's a professional.
Really?
Do you think that we'll ever have a chance to touch lips again, Max?
I promise we will.
I was gonna say, you had a perfect pair to do this.
Orders or no orders, I'm sorry, but my mind is made up.
Oh, man. Turn it off! Turn it off!
Oh, please turn it off!
It's unbelievable.
That's how I feel.
What? A male and female touching lips? Can't be. It's impossible.
He just runs and jumps out into space and kills himself. I can't handle it. It's like a Cthulhian horror.
That display gained you nothing. Lord Britai, he has discontinued transmission.
Contact in 3 seconds.
We can only hope.
Jesus, here we go for the sneak attack.
Veritex reports successful entry, Commander.
The baby is with Max and Miriya.
What?
Micronians, you are completely surrounded. Surrender immediately and you will be allowed to live.
I am not a Micronian, but a micronized Zentradi warrior.
You are Miriya Perina. You were second in command under Azonia.
An officer with the Earth Forces and my mate.
Wow, love it. My mate.
Show him the baby, Miriya.
Show him the baby.
How? But this is impossible.
By the 12 moons, that thing is deformed.
This is what is called an infant, actually created inside my own body, but by both of us. It is love that is the basis of protoculture.
I mean, Robotech teaching 80s kids everything.
You're frightened of it.
Yeah, see, they seem more frightened instead of just like awestruck.
Although the first phase of the operation was successful.
I'd guess.
I can't imagine why they reacted like that. I think Max and Miriya's baby is very cute, don't you? Stop it, Claudia.
Stop it, Claudia. You know it's ugly. That's what that sounded like. I'm sorry.
This is not a drill. Repeat, red alert. All Veritech fighter groups to launching.
Ooh, someone's got themselves a... We got some different pods there. I saw a Chiron-esque battle pod. My man leads from the front.
Repeat, you are go.
Roger, Command. Liftoff positive.
Go get him.
With the efficiency of a finely tuned machine.
Look at that.
But sir, don't you see they are terrified of Micronian contamination? Contamination? Nonsense.
Love it. Really unique way. Dear God. Yeah. You gave Breacheye too much time. Why are we blowing this up again?
Watch it, Max. I got him.
Oh my God, I love that the kid's there.
Thanks, Part.
Like the kid, like up against the glass. Cool, light him up.
We have positive lock and focus on photon particle tracking beam. All Veritechs are cleared.
Light him up, Claudia.
Fire the cannon now.
Breacheye is bad ass, man. He is so fucking cool. Oh shit. Yeah, you might have Chiron's type of craft, but you can't fly it like him.
The remaining troops have agreed to surrender.
Let the prisoners know that we will gladly accept all survivors who wish to join our forces.
Dear God, survivors.
Prisoners. Furthermore,
Our victory may...
I love you can still hear Exodor giving this the delivery.
How to keep the satellite factory from falling into the hands of the Robotech masters once again.
There's one way.
Docking bay. Please reduce all retro propulsion activity.
I mean, I'm no tactician, but if you blow the fucking thing up, I don't think...
To prepare the massive Robotech factory for its voyage through hyperspace. Finally, all is ready.
Lord Breacheye, all fold systems are now operational.
Well, they're folding. Okay, so I'm assuming then that the protoculture factory aboard the SDF-1 or the Hulk of the SDF-1 is still effective because we're folding the shit out of a lot of things here, and everybody else said they couldn't really do that because they didn't have protoculture left.
Commence factory satellite fold reaction, now.
Where are they taking it?
If the ship has enough power to make the defold, I will be content. Why not destabilize the auxiliary functions?
Oh, they're bringing it back to Earth, eh? I mean...
Micronians would say, we've made it. My dear colleagues, it is good to be back home.
Oh, back home. I love it.
oh, very good, sir.
Hell of a job, everybody. It was his Grand Theft Asteroid here.
Fail in comparison to Chiron's plans as he attempts a comeback.
He attempts a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. Chiron's been here for 2 years. All right, everyone. We just got done watching Robotech, episode 30, Viva Miriya. And the only thing left to do is to talk about it. All right, everybody. Back on track. I love it. Robotech episode 30, Viva Miriya. I thought that this got us back on track after what I thought was, again, you know, I enjoy all of Robotech. There's a couple episodes that, you know, like the clip episodes and stuff that kind of irritated me. But last episode, the Robotech Masters, episode 29, I thought was a little bit of a stumble coming off of what I thought was a really good Reconstruction Blues. And honestly, when I went back and edited the Robotech Masters, I was really I think I gave it too much of a hard time simply because that bookend scene with the skeleton of the Zentradi with the Minmay doll was very powerful. That in and of itself elevates the entire episode in my mind. That's a really powerful image that they use effectively at the beginning and the end. Just because of the relationship stuff in the middle didn't go, there was kind of like a little bit of a reboot. They had to kind of like reflesh out some of these triangles. Fine, whatever. That good kind of focused, a little bit tighter episode where we actually had, a couple answers to questions that I had at the end of 29. Most notably, what are Miriya and Max doing with their kid? And I was so going to start trying to guess the name of the kid, and they were all M names. I thought because of Max and Miriya, I thought they were going to be like, I was going through like Mo and Mike and all this stuff. But Dana is apparently the child. I'm assuming it's a little girl. I thought that was sweet in that was kind of like the next evolution of their kind of cultural warfare with the Zentradi, that the unindoctrinated Zentradi that haven't really seen or heard Minmay or seen the kiss, and then to be presented with a baby, like a physical representation of the biological union of Zentradi and Micronian is really cool. It was neat stuff. I can see. I think to myself a lot of times as I'm watching this, what would I have thought as a kid, watching this? And in this episode, I thought to myself, would I have, as a kid, as, the age I was when this came out, a young kid, would I have thought, this is stupid. It's stupid that they can kind of beat everybody by kissing somebody, or it's stupid that they can beat everybody by singing a song or by showing off a baby, or destabilize them to be beaten, something like that. And you know what? I think that I might have had a problem with that until Force of Arms. When, like when the kiss was like, when they were captured and Lisa and Rick kissed and it kind of like goofed up everybody. I think as a kid, I probably wouldn't have been downtown with that. But I think where I would have come around, even as a kid, would have been Force of Arms at the major battle with Minmay singing. That was so powerful and it made so much sense. I even think as a kid, I would have fallen into what the writers and the creatives were trying to express. And you know what? I think that it was incredibly well done. I really like that. And it's, it provides a very different take, not necessarily on cartoons, but on storytelling. It's you have a war series, basically, a series set during the time of war. And in the aftermath and reconstruction of a war that we have now that's still not necessarily simmered. I kind of think of this like this. Even though the war's over and everything seems to be settled, there's sort of like an existing kind of destabilization underneath with the Zentradi kind of this, and Chiron's forces kind of strengthening in the shadows, and this Invid that we have being talked about in the Robotech Masters. There's like a boil that's still simmering, on the stove. Like at any point it could get enough heat to kind of spill the pot. So it's almost like that tension from the end of World War I to like the beginning of the aggression in Europe. In World War II, I kind of feel that kind of like, yes, we're not fighting, but there's still, and it's not a Cold War. There's still, there's still like the same level of tension that you would have during wartime, only technically it's at peacetime. You know what I mean? It's still very heightened. But anywho, I really enjoyed the way that they progressed this episode. Love seeing Britai again. He's one of my all-time favorite characters in this series. I thought he was portrayed perfectly. I love that he was happy to see Exodor. It goes to further saying that he had always felt as Exodor was more than an advisor. He's a friend. He's referred to him as such a couple times. And I really like that it shows like an elevated intelligence of Britai. Almost like an elevated emotional intelligence of Britai, where the rest of them, maybe it's because Britai has one of the very first Zentradi to be kind of exposed to Minmay and the kiss and things like that. He's worked away from that. He's kind of moved past that, but he seemed more animated. He seemed more passionate, you know what I mean, in his pursuit of like this mission that they were on. And whether that was because maybe he was suffering from some of that like lethargy and some of that like discontent, who's to say? Because he seemed very invested in this mission, and just to be kind of behind the wheel again, And he had a hell of a good plan. They sent him out there to stabilize them. And when they were kind of reeling, his ship comes in and starts plowing through people. Classic Britai, right? Really good stuff. I think that there was an interesting. Could they have extended this a few episodes? I think it would have been neat to kind of extend it like 2 or 3 episodes, and then like kind of like a planning stage, a travel episode, do some interpersonal stuff, and then like the third episode have it be like the raid on the satellite. But again, they summed it up pretty well in getting it done. There was just a lot of kind of emotional stuff going on. I would have liked to have seen explored. I mean, primarily you've got Lisa and Rick. Rick, who's acting like he's shocked every time Lisa talks to him, you know, and she's like, "Oh, Rick," you know, and he's like, "What? Huh? What are you talking about? Is Min-May? I'm not talking about Min-May." No, dude, calm down. I just think it's hilarious that this guy is, you know, one of the best that they've got in the air. You know, obviously Max and Miriya are better. But you've got Rick, who's definitely one of their aces, one of their best pilots, one of their best commanders, to be honest, one of their best, like, you know, field generals out there doing his thing. But man, when that guy's outside of a Veritech cockpit, he can't do shit. He's like level 20 in the cockpit, and he's like level 1 maybe outside of the cockpit. I mean, you talk about goofing shit up constantly. That guy can't stay out of his own way. I thought for sure too, everybody, that when they were like, "We'll play Min-May's voice," and Britai was like, "I've made a change of plans," I thought, oh my God, he's gonna roll her out, like he secreted her aboard the ship. Luckily, no. We still heard a song, but luckily, no. So it was the only reason why I don't mind Min-May's character being there or being present. I wanted alone time with Rick and Lisa. You know, they desperately need that, and Rick can't seem to concentrate if Min-May is around because he is absolutely hyper fixated on her, and he literally cannot quit that girl. He cannot move beyond it. He can't stop thinking about her. If she's in the room, he is just drawn to her like a moth to a flame. I'll end with this. I really enjoyed the events of this episode. It showed a healthy relationship with Max and Miriya. A very cute comment, like when Miriya said, "Do you think we're going to get a chance to press our lips together again sometime?" And Max is like, "Yeah." I thought that was a very cute, like a husband and wife type of, you know, partner type of thing with the banter that would be said between partners. Really, really cool stuff. But oh my God, it's just that relationship is in stark comparison to the one we have with Lisa and Rick, which isn't like will they, won't they? It's like, why would they at this point? Because I'm at the point now where I like Lisa too much to saddle her with Rick. I think Rick deserves Min-May and Min-May deserves Rick. And that sounds terrible, but I think honestly that it would actually be for the best, you know, that ultimately the characters will be better for having tried. I don't think it works between Rick and Min-May. Now, whether or not we ever find out or whatever, I don't know. I just don't think it ever works. And I think that the only way that Rick and Min-May now can move beyond one another is to try it and watch it burn. Be like, oh, you know what? Maybe we aren't supposed to be together because us sucks. So maybe, but again, don't you dare come running back to Lisa after that, buddy. That's that. Lisa's not playing second fiddle to Min-May. You know, if you're going to make this decision, it's going to be, I'm foregoing Min-May for Lisa, not I'm going to try it with Min-May and then go to Lisa. Anyway, friends, interesting stuff afoot here. And, you know, strangely enough, the love triangles to me are now the #1 focus for me in watching this series. It's not the dog fighting or the awesome robots or anything. It's, are they going to make the right decision with the choice of romantic partner that they have? That, and I want to see Kyle dead. Okay, friends, if you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and you'll be alerted next time we go live with Saturday morning React-TOONS or Robotech or anything. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to the Patreon is in the description. But friends, all that's then, and this is now. Now it's time to say goodbye from Robotech, but where should we say goodbye from? Well, I say we say goodbye from that moment when everybody gets aboard Britai's ship and Britai is there and we're all standing there as part of this elite task force commanded by Britai, and Britai has a smile on his face. He's happy. And we realize that potentially if we have the right Zentradi in charge and the right Micronians in charge, that by God, this just might work. Until such time, friends, Vulcan roll, and I'll see you.